Greetings and welcome, Taurus. This is your reading for April 2020. We are certainly marching into this year with great haste, speed, same thing I guess, abandonment and a little bit of anxiety and fear given the current status of the pandemic issue, and I guess following on from that, the financial kind of issue as well. So very interesting times as we march into this new decade. I had given plenty of information in previous videos, including my global predictions for 2020 and some insights into your last astrological readings towards the end of last year as to what to expect for these new times as we merge into this new decade. It is a fast-paced life. I think it's really important to take the time to ground yourself, which is really great for you guys being the earth sign energy, and find comfort in some of the slower paced things in life, such as relaxation, enjoying certain aspects, whether it's reading books or walking or hiking or meditation, watching a movie, things like that bring us back down to a slower pace. So there is a real message for everyone coming through this month of April that we need to look after our health at very many different levels: physical, mental, emotional and spiritual. Now, before I start your reading, I will tell you the intuitive work I did for you. You will see these 3 decks of cards and we will be using these. This is the John Holland Psychic Tarot. This is Gods, Goddesses and Angels by Tony Salarino. And this is The Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. Your intuitive messages, the first thing I got was that I felt I was being taken up into the constellation of Taurus and I was seeing the bull. So I was given this almighty expansive feeling, like, when you stand there and you look up into the galaxy, up into our solar system, into our Milky Way, and you pick out the different stars that you know. So I was given this feeling of great expansiveness and saw the area of Taurus the bull. So then I thought to myself, so this is a view. Some of you seeing an expansion in your life, like a greater expansion or awareness or understanding or some sort of unfolding or a bigger vision. I also got the message to say, are you looking at something from the wrong angle, or do you need to change perspectives and get a wider perspective or a different one? Also, your eyes could play a role in the month of April, as in seeing. And some words that came out for that were all-seeing, blind-sided, blind. Check your vision as well. And also your third eye will play a role in activities, actions, thoughts or situations or ideas or answers that come up in April. You're to listen, to look and listen. Also watch out for events that come out of nowhere. It's like you wouldn't have even known it was going to unfold this way or wasn't going to happen. These events could expand and they could become something that takes you in a whole new direction, that is heading you down this new pathway or expansiveness or opening up. I also got the little saying, face your fears and open up. Definitely connect with intuitive works, and there is something happening through your third eye. So whether you become more psychically aware or whether you find yourself connected to energetic patterns that give you insight or answers, or whether you feel vibrations or tingling in that third eye area, you might receive dreams. You might also experience things from the other realms. And I'm thinking here, what have I written down here? Some of you see visions of or dreams, possibly of death-like scenarios, or you go to places as such, maybe churches or graveyards, or the area on the planet that I'm thinking of is like Mexico or Inca, those type of areas as well, or those feelings. The other thing that I really picked up was heart awakening, possibly a love connection for some of you. Now, there may also be a specific type of person who plays a role in this heart activation, awakening, or connection. And it could be a girl or a woman, tending to be more younger, with soft golden blondie hair or light brown hair and brown eyes. So somehow there's this image of someone like that who could be connected to something that is happening in terms of a love connection. This could be a new romantic partner for some of you, and for others this could be a family member or someone who's on your mind or who is shaping part of what is going on for you in the month of April. The other thing that I got was definitely a heart awakening coming. That the heart is implicated. I also said check your heart health, and I also noted that pets for some of you are on your mind. Check your pets out, make sure their health is good, but some of you may even get new pets. So a really interesting bunch of expansive messages. They came from different places. They were jumping in quite fast and furiously. And some of them, as I say, were from miles and miles away, and others were really, really close, as if they were coming from the psychic realm. And in fact, during that introduction that I was giving, you might well have heard my pet, my dog, barking in the background, which was also giving that feeling of pets as well. So she jumped in there to add her energy. I'm going to get into the reading now. It's really interesting today. We have a power cut, but it's a scheduled power cut for maintenance. But that aside, there's this eerie feeling in the house. You know, when there is not a sound, there's no electrical movement, there's no one else in the house except myself and the dog, the cats are out, and you get this incredibly deep silence that you don't normally get a normal time span of things, because the world is so full of electricity and movement and sounds. There's just nothing, and it's really deeply calming, which is what I was talking about before, getting this calming feeling. But it's also, because it's so peaceful, it's also extrapolating itself out and opening up, like it allows portals to be opened or something, like another connection as well. So we'll see how your reading pans out, but for sure the only thing I can hear at the moment is the trees outside. There's a little bit of a storm coming and the oak leaves are blowing on the oak trees, and that's really the only noise. So let's see for Taurus here, and it's a wee bit dark in my room as well, but there's nothing I can do about that. I can't really light it. I could light it with a candle. We'll see here for Taurus what is happening for them for April. We are tuning into Taurus energies. We've already received some insight, some celestial insight. The base chakra. Well, we talked about grounding and bringing you guys back to a sense of security, peace, calm and stillness. And of course that is the very opposite from the first part of the message when I said I was up in space looking at your constellation and being so far out. So the base chakra for you might need activation, opening or clearing. It's the one at the very lower part of the body down here. It activates our financial disposition in life, so it's about finances, money, career, jobs, home, security. It's also where we activate our fear or flight modalities from as well. So having that balanced and calm and centered through meditation or exercise or eating foods that have the red or wearing red all help towards allowing the flow of manifestation, especially the flow from the ground up into this chakra portal and then up through the other ones. What's next coming? Harmony. Harmony is basically the Lover's card. So I talked about love and I said to you there's a heart awakening coming. This again is really emphasizing the energies of the heart for some of you. This card, the Lover's card, represents many different facets of love or companionship or partnership. So given this is a general reading, this could mean different perspectives for many of you. And there's similarly, as I mentioned before, is the younger girl or lady with sort of light, well, dark blonde but light brown hair and brown eyes. She's definitely playing a role for a lot of you in this connection of love. Now, she may be in the here and now in this timeline. She may not be in the here and now. She may be in a passed over realm, which is why I was thinking of the feeling of some of you facing scenarios that seem to have death around them, or going to places where those energies are, like graveyards or churches. And the church isn't necessarily about death, but that's where sometimes ceremonies along those lines are held. You may attend something like a church, and it may be for something like a wedding, which is all about the initiation of this deep connection, this bond of love between two people, this soulmate opening, as well as, and I'm going to mention it, the twin flame portal. So a lot of us on the planet have the energy of the twin flame concept misconstrued. Yes, it can be about a physical love connection, but more often than not, it's an association of a spiritual nature that connects you so deeply, and it opens your heart to this massive awakening at a very deep spiritual level. This can happen through the interaction of another person on the planet, or through a spiritual awakening or epiphany or connection to your higher self, your other self, the other half of your soul. So it's like the seat of your soul connection. It's very convoluted, it's very deep, it's very, very powerful. And we are going through incredible change in the times that we live in now. And as I said at the beginning, we're fast paced, and a lot of unusual and different things are beginning to emerge and happen for many, many people. So events and scenarios, situations, meetings, feelings, evolutions like this are taking place, and some people are experiencing them. So this could be a profound illumination of your soul. And if it happens, you'll know it, you'll feel it. It will be like one of the headiest euphorias you could possibly experience. It could also be a soulmate coming in at a normal level in the terms of a relationship. It could also be the reawakening of a current relationship and taking it to a deeper level. Now, it can be done through this physical perspective of the base chakra and energizing that and opening it and allowing that energy to flow, because this is where the family is formed. The soul tribe exists from this area. Our homes and our hearts are connected to the base chakra. So consequently, so are relationships connected to the base chakra. Some of you may experience new soul tribe energy coming in, so meeting new people who you deeply, deeply connect with, that don't have to be just a love relationship, but you can feel the pull of the energy of them. For others of you, as I said, a recommitment, a re-ceremony. Sometimes this is a marriage or attending a service along those lines. Other times this is the forming of a business relationship, or the healing of one, or the strengthening of one. Because it's also associated with the base chakra, and that is where our finances are also connected, this could be the formation or the new idea or concept of a very successful potential business association. Or it may be that this needs opening or fixing or working on as well. So remember, there's so many different dynamics to every perspective of any cards that we ever look at, but those two have a deep synergy and you can feel it. Even though the color palette is kind of different, it's merging through. I can feel this red merging through into the background up through here. So I'll keep shuffling and see what else comes out for you guys. They're nice 2 cards to come, and as you can see, there were some really deep messages connected to them, and I think that they could go extremely deep. And given the strange eclectic messages you received for the beginning of your reading, so now we have the intuition card, which of course is the High Priestess. And again, we're talking of the same type of looking person that I mentioned before. But this is the deep connection to your higher self, to your spiritual self, to your psychic self, really tuning into and merging that celestial portion of your soul to the physical. So being able to talk to yourself, to hear yourself, to have that wider perspective and vision and view and dynamic and understand it. And when you do, the answers that come in, oh wow, yeah, look, and there we are looking up in the cosmos as I was doing in the very beginning. And that's how I started your reading. And I felt, were you seeing other perspectives, or is there a greater dynamic, or is there a different side or perspective or philosophy or feeling or something coming in? It seems to tie in very greatly, and I think for some of you it's going to open new doors if you allow this energy and connection to come into you, into whatever it is you're seeking an answer for. So some of you are definitely being heightened, you're being awakened, you are finding synchronicities becoming more bizarre, and they do. The more awake and aware you are, the more bizarre they come, which is really quite cool. And some of you will find messages through this form of connection. Also, that card can indicate a very deep attraction from other people to you. So some people may find you highly attractive at this time, and oftentimes there can be a sexual chemistry. So this energy is still ongoing through here, this bonded feeling of love, of attraction, of commitment, and it could still be showing itself through this card. So there's something in here for a lot of you Taurians about love and the energy of love and people around you that you are connected with. This was another one that arrived. It was on, I had to retrieve it from the ground. So this is the guy, the Hierophant, whose principles are very high and devout. He is the church goer, and he is the man who has the knowledge. Him and her are similar in partnership of esoteric, celestial, religious, spiritual knowledge, and they have both gained a degree of insight and supremacy, I suppose, of cosmic awareness. So there's a lot of this coming in your reading. All of these cards are actually black borders, right? These are all, in essence, major arcana cards. They are indicating a depth to the reading that is beyond your input. It's coming to you from a far bigger cycle of life, and it's being delivered to you at whatever level you can currently understand it or upload it. So for each of you, again, this could be different levels of perspective, but there's a lot of potential in here for a connection to the higher self, a connection to the soul self, a connection to the twin flame energy of spiritual divinity. There's a connection to realizing answers, cosmic answers, that will take you on your further journey. I do think as this new decade unfolds that we are moving into very powerful times of individual realization and growth. And yet another major arcana. So this, of course, is the Chariot card. And again, the Chariot card plays out in several different timelines. It plays out in the here and now, in the physical, but it also plays out deeply in the spiritual. The triumph is the triumph of the soul again. It's the triumph of your understanding and realization of the strength of who you are. And although we know, we talked about the bull because you're Taurus, we have a horse in showing his earthly, grounded, innate strength and divinity, which is what I'm thinking some of you are going to tap into or open up to or see something broader or bigger picture. The Triumph card is about balancing all aspects of the self, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, and they all come together in this ball of energy that creates triumphant effect in one's life. So when it's balanced and it's understood, the power that you can grab is like the electricity that's currently missing in this reading. So while there is stillness within, and that's how you do your learning, and that's how you come together, you then create this power or this electricity or this electrical surge, and that is part the journey of triumph. If you have lost your power, like I have right now, if you lost your power through self-denigration or disbelief, or through ill health, or through someone else having a hold over you, or whether you've put yourself down one way or another, this is a time when you can regain the wholeness of you, the power of you. This card can represent the wholeness of you at the deepest of levels, at the spiritual soul level. This card is rebalancing your physical strength. It could be from healing from an illness of some sort, or from a misfortune, or from a lack of something. These are all empowering power and strength. And you get that through this connection to wisdom, through understanding, through knowledge, through searching, through vision, through expansion of your horizon, of your ideas, of your thoughts, and how you perceive things. So there are some wonderful messages in here. It's a very strong, resourceful reading that I think perhaps many of you should choose to come back to anytime you feel a lack of triumph, or a lack of power, or a lack of harmony in situations or directions you are heading. If we talk more about these on a slightly average day-to-day level, the Hierophant card talks about doing things right and timely, crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and remaining very coherent and strict in following the law at this time. So don't do anything illegal or slightly wrong if you are wanting to sign things or go places. Follow the law. This Triumph card can mean things about your vehicle that you travel with. It can mean a new car. It can mean fixing your vehicle. It can mean going on a road trip. It can mean moving house. So selling a house, moving to a new area, moving to a new state, even moving to a new country. It can mean a change of jobs, or it can mean jobs that you travel around a lot in. So those are the slightly more mundane energies of the Triumph card, but they still exist. Whatever way you look at him, he is powerful and he is moving forward. He is surging forward. He has a rush of strength in his physical body and in his mind, because he sees things, he grasps them, he understands them. He has also come out of a time where he didn't have this energy, ideas or concepts. So some of this could be new energy returning to you after like a dark period or a flat period, or a time after something like a burnout or a lack of zing. Let's see what else for you, Taurus. Just another couple. You've already had so many neat cards turn up, and you know, really quite in-depth messages that have come with them. Oh wow. Fulfillment of wishes. Powerful reading when you receive things like those major arcana cards, and then this one as well. You don't need to say a lot more other than what is on the bottom of this card. For some of you, literally, something you've been wanting or you've been wishing for is formatting, is taking structure and shape in this current timeline. It is a cup card, so it often affects emotions and love. It can also affect the heart, so this could be the heart at the physical level, or it could be the emotional or spiritual level as well. 2 nines. Did we have any other nines? I'm just trying to think. 2 nines, a wands now as well, spiritual strength. We've talked a lot in your reading about spirituality. This card in particular in this deck, John Holland's deck, is a beautiful rendition of that deep strength, and the green resonates deeply with the heart again. So there is some sort of heart energy that's going on in the background of your reading. It's personal for a lot of you because it's still being a wee bit hidden, but you have been given some capacity here to strengthen an aspect, area or dynamic of your life or direction that you were headed in, because this is also strength. So spiritual strength, physical and spiritual strength, doubly amplified. The nines indicate some sort of ending, so it's as if you've been in a holding pattern. You know, when you come into plane and you're flying and you're coming into an airport and they put the plane in a holding pattern and you go round in a spiral sort of pattern until you eventually come down to land. For some of you, that's what it's like, that you had been either waiting or you were spiraling slowly through a course or a situation or an event that was taking place that had to in a certain timeline of your life. I feel as though something's freeing up, as if you have more freedom coming. So we will finish there for that deck, and we will look into this deck and we will see what's coming for you from here. The Goddess of Compassion. Self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. And I feel as though this is the one that is on the outer. And I see we're looking back up at the stars again. I also consider these 3 stars here to be celestial supporters. So either angelic guides or spirit guides, or perhaps deceased loved ones who are around you at this point in time. You may be thinking about them, which is where that other message came in again. But this Triumph card tells me that if you have gone through self-criticism or a lack of self-worth, now is the time to engage in bringing the strength back and rebooting up your own personal power pack. Again, I'm back at the electricity. So booting up the electrical circuitry again in your system at all levels to get rid of any negative self-talk or self-doubt. So that's kind of what the role that these powerful cards have been playing in the background. All of the power and the rebooting of these cards. This is what it is saying for you guys, to really strengthen up. And then we see great strength in this one too, holding up this massive concrete pillar or structure, and he's feeling very safe underneath it. The activation of the third eye there, the power within this triumph that's here, and the wishes being fulfilled. So there might still be this energy going on in the background for some of you, but you need to adopt this other power that sits quietly in the background, as Taurians often do, have this powerful background energy. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. I think you are being given it, and I think it's there for you very much in the month of April. So focus on asking for help and support if you feel you need it at any time. And this could be in relation to any fears that you have, because I did feel there was a little bit of fear around for some of you. You know, fear of, can I achieve it? Can I do it? Will it be successful? Am I going to be all right? And I said, feel the fear and do it anyhow. One more from here for Taurus for April. Angel of new life. An exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold. The moon could play a role, so that could be timing-wise the next new full moon or even new moons coming, because there are some powerful constellations, back on that word again, well, not constellations, there are some powerful planetary alignments coming that could have big effects for you guys. So just remember that a new chapter is unfolding, and I do think that strength and regaining strength, for each of you it may be different, but physical, emotional, mental and spiritual. Oh goodness, they shot out. Who are these two? The Miriam, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all and remember that love has no boundaries. That's beautiful. And Lady Portia, you received divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So 3 of these very graceful, higher celestial beings that have come to you for the last part of your reading. Some to assure you, you are going to see a sacred vision, and that's kind of how we started the messages. And I said that all seeing, your eyes play a role, seeing things, all seeing. Third eye, listen, look and listen. Watch out for events that come out of nowhere. Expand, face your fears, open up, intuitive works. Definitely something happening through the third eye, heart awakening, love connections. So really beautiful tie-in at the end here. And you'll know that divine order is playing its role when you experience symphony and harmony, such as these cards brought to you in the very beginning and through that part of the reading. There's just card after card after card. So if you have been through challenges, don't give up. There's great change, great strength, great fulfillment coming. Remember to trust your inner guidance, your higher self, the intuitive perspective of the messages you receive and the wisdom that you have achieved as well. So there you are, Taurus, a beautiful reading for you for April. Many wonderful insights and much knowledge, expansion, growth, heart connection to the deepest level for many of you. And that could be very spiritual for some of you. But yeah, a wonderful reading. I love it when you leave your comments. Please sub the channel and like the video. And remember to check your moon and rising signs as well, because they could be just as exciting and interesting. Much love, everyone. Have a great April ahead. Be safe. Namaste.